Welcome back to Warrior Park for the second game of this Olympia versus Kingborough double header. We're moving on to the NPL Taz after the Warrior women claimed a comprehensive 5-0 win in the Women's Super League early on. They now take on the Kingborough Lions in a rematch in what was one of the games of the season down at the Den. Olympia with a stirring comeback, turning a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 win. A frankly ridiculous game, and hoping for more of the same. Alongside me here is Paul Hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Ridiculous is a very apt word on commentary duty for that one that night. I thought Kingborough had that one in the bag at the 80th minute mark, despite being a man down, thanks to Jack Turner's sending off, and then Jordan Scott with 6 minutes of absolute magic. Real one-man show it was on that evening, and they'll hope for a bit more all-round performance, I think, from the Warriors here on their home patch against the Lions. They do prefer the matches here at Warrior Park. Usually have a pretty good record. Kingborough, likewise, two teams very much preferring their home grounds. There's a nice little sprint there from the Lions, just rather than standing still waiting for the Warriors to come out, doing something different with the pre-match warm-up routine. Always good to see, but anticipating a pretty strong contest here this afternoon. Kingborough still fighting for 5th position. The Warriors pretty much a lock for 2nd position this season, so a little bit to play for, but yeah, it should be a good contest.
Yeah, certainly hoping for entertainment. We got that last week with the Kingborough Hobart Zebras game. A whole lot for either team to play for, but both played in a pretty positive manner, and it led to an enjoyable encounter, and he's hoping for more of the same today, as the players are just about ready to come out, and should be an enjoyable one here.
Yeah, just the usual evident delays we get here. Nearly kicking off at 5 o'clock, which for an NPL game, kicking off on time is a shock. Looks like we're about to get that here this afternoon. As quick weather report, we had a very windy start to the Women's Super League game. That died down. It has come back a bit, and also it has dropped about 10 degrees, I reckon, in the last 5 or 10 minutes out here. It is blowing a gale. Sunset, and the game will be on under lights. Surprised they haven't turned them on already here at Warrior Park, as players exchange pleasantries. Nearly a full strength lineup for both sides here this afternoon. One obvious one there is Darby Randall in goal, the distinctive Darby Randall out in goal, with Cole McDonald out with an ankle injury here this afternoon. We will run through the teams for you shortly as they continue their warm-up preparations. The Warriors have the usual Lucas Hill sit-up routine. Seem to be discussing that at the moment. Play underway shortly here at Warrior Park.
No real surprises in the starting lineups. Kingborough will be looking to keep going from where they were last Friday night. It was a pretty impressive performance against the Zebras, especially in that second half. Made a few adjustments, got on top of the game, and then Keenan Dowse, his third long-range stunner in 3 weeks. He's made quite the habit of that. We'll see if he pulls any out today. I reckon he'll be keen to test out Darby Randall. Obviously, the number 2 goalkeeper in there might just be sensing the chance to make it in 4 games for a man in fine form, and duly rewarded with his selection in the state squad earlier this week.
Yeah, certainly, and done the homework on Darby Randall. Got beaten by a pretty blistering shot from outside the box from his brother the other week against Clarence. Saw Clarence hit the lead here temporarily before the Warriors ran away with it, so that would be an obvious outlet. Yeah, well rewarded. A couple of players from the Warriors in that Tasmania squad as well. Lucas Hill, who he's battling a little bit of an injury here, will be wanting to work his way back to full fitness. Nick Mearns also included in that state team selection.
Interesting to see where Lucas Hill lines up today. He's been playing further up the field in recent weeks, and it looks like that is set to continue here, judging by the starting positions. Looks like Van der May will be partnering Paul Stevens, and Mark the Business Ortman at right back, and Ryan Cook at left back, and looks like Hill playing a very advanced role in this system. Mearns and Scott, H. Kurtz in midfield. quite the attacking role it seems Lucas Hill will be taking up, just taking up a spot out on the right to begin with. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly the formation is here for the Warriors. His assaultman lobs it onto the head of Jack Ryan. So Joffrey and Koso in the starting lineup here for the Warriors. It's their attacking options. Randall under pressure from Jack Turner. What a player Jack Turner has been. No matter where he has bobbed up at, he has just produced results and certainly is a real weapon for Kingborough since moving down to the Den.
Yeah, I'm still here puzzled at what on earth Warriors formation they're trying to play here this afternoon is. Jack Ryan's up top, and then there just appears to be a collection of about 5 centre mids spread out relatively even across the park, and then a pretty standard back four. I'm sure it'll eventuate after a few more minutes of play, but it's an interesting one from the Warriors as flicked on by Still nearly towards Turner, who'll play his usual aggressive number 9 role. And a big in for the Lions since moving from South Hobart. Obviously, Lions being one of his former sides as Kurtz lays it out to Vandermeer. Breaking ball in the Scott direction. Ryan gives it a helping hand to Cook. Scott goes towards the back post. Deflected, and Ryan sends Mark the Business Altman a bit of a task. And he's just going to concede a goal kick by the looks of it, just rolling along the line.
In at right back today, so Stevens, Vandermeer, Cook and Randall, the defensive unit. Scott and Kurtz sitting just in front of them, and then Merns, Ladich and Lucas Hill just in behind of Ryan. Is the Warriors starting 11 for this one as Merns looks with a snapshot from range to test Perkinson, who comfortably deals with that one in the end. Kenneth Perkinson fizzing from range from Merns.
Looks like the Lions are rolling with the commentator's nightmare of Zammit into Samet on the left-hand side as well. Ball on this occasion will fall to Stevens, out towards Scott. Merns available in short. Impressive Keenan Dowse clears. As far as Turner wants to try and roll Stevens, in the end does nothing but gives him a shirt tug and concedes the foul. As for those playing at home, when Jack Turner's first foul will be 2.5 minutes. Sometimes he can even foul a little earlier than that in games. That's the tenacious style of Jack Turner.
So the Lions line up, Turner leading the line, and you've got Steele, Downs and Cohen in the midfield brigade. Looks like Allen and Samet out wide. Zamet at left back. Yeah, Smithy Sharple's partner in Cuthbertson. And then Keenan Dowse is at right back in front of this man, Kenneth Perkinson, who swings that one into Kurtz, who just failed to control it. And Danny Cohen looks to bomb forward, and he continued his run too. He just strayed. And he was well and truly aware of it, pulling up mid-run.
Yeah, he wanted the first time ball there from Downs or Allen it was, but unfortunately didn't get it and went straight into an offside position as Hill battles away with Cohen. Merns rolling away from Downs and then rolling away from Cuthbertson, still going is Merns. It's a great covering challenge in the end to stop Merns in his tracks. Now Turner, harassed by Kurtz. And the ball's still in play. Cook and Merns eventually sorted out. Stevens under pressure from Allen. Laid out to Vandermeer. One in the range to store Cuthbertson. Ladich. Roll Cameron Steele. Kurtz. Misplaced pass. Let in Joel Samet. The former Warriors player looking to get one over his team, but he won't quite do it. Passes like that. Straight to Scott. Now Merns. Cohen applying the pressure and then easing off. Thought about the diagonal to Ortman. Instead it will be Vandermeer to go long. It'll be one of those occasions where Ryan won't have the height advantage, unlike against many other oppositions in the state. Cuthbertson, even Smithy Sharples covering up well against him. Will fall to Zamet. Good ball to Cameron Steele, who stayed on side. Jack Turner making a near post run. Goes in that direction just behind him, and Stevens manages to clear. Samet, the header to no one in particular. Jack Ryan intercepts. Merns, Scott. Merns still going. Scott continues his run as well. Drops the step over and sliding in. Here's Cuthbertson out for a throw in. Good positive start from both sides here so far.
So Warriors on the prowl here. Nick Mearns able to get him behind and cleared away. Horatio Gutierrez in this Lions side tonight. Hertzlin was very good last week and fantastic player when fit, but injuries have unfortunately really derailed his campaign. He's got on the park. He's been a real impact player for the Lions. So unable to start as that pass broadcast a little bit for Downs, but eventually found Scott as Stevens works it to Ryan Cook, deflects off the back of Hill into the path of Mearns. Caught again by Cook. He'll have a little back heel from Mearns to Lucas Hill. Hill dwells on it, then picks his spot brilliantly, blocked on the line. A goal-saving block there. Who was that on the line? He's absolutely saved the day. It was Smithy Sharples, the former Warrior.
Yeah, just coming over this year. Found good position on the goal. We'll rewind that a little bit further again. Lucas Hill standing with the ball on the 6-yard line. Maybe his defender's instinct coming in there. Not exactly quite sure what to do in that position. Just hesitated slightly as Scott whips this one in across the box. Deflected. Is that in? Referee stays still. Shouts for the goal, but doesn't have crossed the line. And Zammit. Eventually the ball crosses the line. We won't have a great angle at that one on replay either, but the appeals went up from the Warriors. Perkinson, the reflex save. They've got time to have a look as Scott whips the ball in. It's come off the heel of an own teammate. He's flapped at it initially. That's nowhere near crossed the line, I don't think.
No, I went a little bit behind the keeper's arm, but he was a pace out from the goal line, so no controversy there, I don't think. Lucas Hill, in the first time flick, cleared away by the big stalk. Cuthbertson finds the safety of the line, so the Warriors, a couple of almost moments here as they start to warm to the task at hand. It's Kurtz, who's had a good year in a number of different positions. Finds himself playing centrally today as Jordan Scott swings this one out for Jack Ryan. Lions defence deal with that one, and Perkinson goes along to Jack Turner, who immediately draws a crowd. I think they'll be well aware of the threat Jack Turner poses, and they'll be looking to get multiple bodies on him every chance they can. Such an influential player leading the line for Kingborough. Fairly prolific record at South Hobart before that. And, very, very, very brief stint here at Warrior Park as well. The swings and roundabouts of Jack Turner's career as Joel Samet drives one in looking for that man Turner, but Jack Vandermeer was there and puts it behind for the corner.
I completely forgot about that stint. I think it was about 2 games at most.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a stint.
Yeah, start of last year I think that was, before moving back to South Hobart. As Downs will take the Lions' first corner of the game. Brayton Allen just introducing himself to Darby Randall there. Nice little hello and a butt tap. Do enjoy that banter as the ball goes in and it does go onto the head. Little Darby Randall. Good early touch for the keeper. Sprays it out to Vandermeer. And to the business Altman. Back to Vandermeer. Lions just sitting up nice and deep at the moment. Stevens. Under pressure from Allens, forced to hit it first time. Smithy Sharples battling away with Mearns. Cool step over from the defender, but not quite the coolest of clearances. Did the first bit right there did Smithy Sharples, who's moved to Kingborough this year in search of some first team football. Was a pillar of the Warriors Challenge League side and made the bench in their FFA Cup appearance, but couldn't break into the first team, and now the Warriors will have a free kick. A dangerous position. Jordan Scott, most likely candidate over this one.
Yeah, Samet, Smithy's, Sharples and Brayton Allen, a few former Warriors in this Kingborough side here today. They've, I suppose that's what you do when you're coming down the table. You look at the players not breaking into the starting 11s of the top sides and you lure them across with first team football. It's what they've done. They've got a fair bit out of that trio, especially in the last month or so, as Jordan Scott with a wickedly taken one, and that's just cleared away. That was not too far away from opening the scoring. Jordan Scott, speaking to him earlier, he suggested he was due for a goal, and he wasn't too far away here.
Palmed, I think, onto the post there by Perkinson. He needed both hands on that one. It was a whizzing ball from Scott, who, as you mentioned earlier, did say he was due a goal. Nice bouncing one in front of the keeper, always difficult, and yeah, clatters off the post. He won't take his corner kick though, that'll be left to the chef Ryan Cook. See if he can dish up an early dinner. Goes towards the near post and headed by Ryan over the top of the goal. That's the position you want. Your number 9 striker in on the 6-yard line. A little bit of pressure, but still made good purchase. Warriors, a good few chances in this opening 10 minutes. It was Smithy Sharples tries to find Allen. Scott sliding in. And Jez Kempf is particularly happy about that being called play on down there on the sideline. It was Keenan Dowse. Tries to find Steele, but fall to Vandermeer. Long ball towards Ryan, cleared by Cuthbertson. He'll rise again, Will the Stork. Eventually out for a throw. Cook looking for some options. Ryan is one. Cuthbertson clears. Turner on the ball. So an Allen as well. Turner dropping really deep from his number 9 position to collect. Cook with the acrobatic clearance. Just gaining a little bit of distance in every throw in are the Lions. Dowse. Allen trying to roll Bakert, who gives him that look like I've seen that trick a few times, mate. Cowan sizing up the option of Allen. Stevens this time manages to clear. And a very real ping pong here at the moment. Either side managing to keep it down as Steele bodies up against Cook, who just wants to see the sideline. Manages to find it.
Mix of Steele and Turner should be well suited to a Warrior Park battle, I'd have thought. Plenty of aerial duels, plenty of these kind of long throw potential scenarios. Physical game always a very important leading the line here. Space always at a premium. As Steele tries to draw the free kick and does so. And Dowse with a few stern words there too. Finger pointing going on, but good opportunity for the Lions here.
Haven't got him in focus, but good to see Tony Pert alive and well after the demolition of England cricketers last night. Good to see him still braving the elements.
Yeah, glad to see he is here. I thought he might have locked himself in a room somewhere after that Josh Hazelwood spell last night, but no, he's bravely showing his face here. Of course, a lifelong member of the Barmy Army. As this corner will be taken by Steele, free kick rather. It's a good one, but Ryan Cook able to get it away from Danny Cowan. Zammit really fancied the long shot, and in the end he's coughed it straight up to Jordan Scott, and the break is on for the Warriors. Mearns tries to get in behind if Dowse got a foot on it, and Scott's touch a heavy one behind for a goal kick. That was breaking rather threateningly there for the Warriors.
Yeah, just on the right hand side. Hill was also in a good pocket of space as well. He had almost too many options there, did Mearns. And I did particularly like Nick Zammit just sizing up the 45-yard volley there. We did talk in pre-game that maybe a few more long shots might come in today, but I think that one would have been even a little too ambitious there from Zammit. The business and take the throw over the head of the mountain. Ladich now beats 3. Gets the return ball off Ryan. Ladich still going. John Ladich. Great save, Perkinson. Ryan trying to get back at it again. Will it fall to Scott? Not quite. Allen thumps it clear. Got no purchase on that whatsoever. Cowan. Turner and Mearns battling away. Hand ball there from Turner. Not given. Still scrapping away is Jack Turner. They get it out of there eventually. Steele. Only as far as Stevens, uses his body well. Steele will be a willing runner on this occasion. That was a fantastic run from John Ladich. Burned off about 4 Lions players in that move and just couldn't quite beat Perkinson, keeper who came late to the Tasmanian NPL season, but has made quite the impression since being here. A few, frankly, amazing performances, particularly that one at the Den against Lonnie City, as Hill tries to get on this one. Comfortably claimed by the American.
Yeah, it was a very good piece of keeping to slide out and deny Ladich, who did everything right, played a good 1-2, got him behind, showed good control, got a pretty powerful shot away, but sliding out Perkinson just made himself big and came up with the big stop. And as you say, it's something he's done routinely for the Lions this year. Kurtz looks it back to Paul Stevens. Looks like he's finally playing without a heavily bandaged knee for once, which has been a consistent sight this season, as Douse trailing back in the pursuit here, but in the end will win the throw-in for his side. Up against Nick Mearns on this occasion. Here down the line to Turner. Right, Allen helps it further afield, but there was Stevens. Kurtz to Vandermeer. Vandermeer with time to pick a pass, and he uses it to find Nick Mearns, who'll try and cut inside of Keenan Douse. Wasn't having it, and then just tried to dupe the ref into giving him the throw. To be fooled, however.
I'd refuse to give him a throw-in for that moustache he's currently rocking, to be honest.
Not a fan?
Oh, no, he can do what he wants, it's fine. Just wouldn't make a decision go his way every now and then, though. It was Cowan battling away with Mearns.
When you score goals like he has the last 3 weeks, you can do what you like.
You can tell his confidence is up, because I'm pretty sure he didn't have that 3 weeks ago. Scott tries the long shot, deflected off the legs of Smithy Sharples. Maybe that's a confidence mode.
Maybe.
Just feeling the love at the moment. That one's out for a throw-in. Altman to take. Doesn't have a whole lot of options. Goes to Ryan, who gets clattered after headering it, and this time the free kick is given. Outside, some free kicks were given for incidents such as that one.
Yeah, just going straight through the back of him there was the big Stork Cuthbertson, a little ungainly that. And this is very much in Jordan Scott territory. Let's see what the Englishman can produce here. The left foot of Ryan Cook also hovering about, and maybe a more natural fit for this side of the pitch, but we'll see if it will be the chef or the Englishman. Try and give their side the lead. It is Jordan Scott, drives it straight into the wall and then smashes the rebound all well over the top, although a little deflection did help it on its way. So another corner coming up here for the Warriors.
Not the greatest first attempt at goal from the Warriors, and Cuthbertson very happy he had his hands in the way on that occasion. Scott does take a tiny nick off Cuthbertson on the way over. That's the corner. Comes in centrally, well cleared by Steele. Samet, helps it straight back into the 18-yard box. Ryan Ladich try to find Scott, who is in an offside position. Keenan Douse did have a rough idea he was. Leave it for Perkinson to take. Thumps it. Down the line looking for Turner. That just holds up in the wind, and Vandermeer attacks the ball. Steele tries to let it bounce over the top of a mountain. That's always pretty difficult. Hill. Way back to Randall. Very good purchase on that clearance, is Darby Randall. Probably just going to bounce out for a goal kick. Mearns recognises that and holds his run. After 20 minutes, Warriors with the better of the chances, but the style of game that it's been so far probably won't worry the Lions too much. Prefer a tighter, more combative physical game here this evening.
They'd like to start generating a shot or two, though. Not anything to speak of in that department just yet. It's been the Warriors' defence scarcely tested so far, really controlling this game. As Jordan Scott chips this one over the top. Perfectly spins into the path of Jack Ryan, and he's shut down by Perkinson, covering his near post well. And the Englishman probably should have gone across the face there Instead tried to sneak it in near stick. And a very nice piece of keeping by Perkinson, but what a pull from Jordan Scott.
Beautiful amount of leg spin there from Jordan Scott. And it falls right into the path of Ryan. And then look at this save from Perkinson. Makes himself big. He's straight at him. I thought he had more of a palm on that rather than had his body. The Warriors will take the short corner. Cook puts that high wide and not so handsome. So a wasted opportunity for the Warriors. Yeah, I thought Ryan just needed to hit that low rather than right at chest height. Makes it a lot easier for the keeper to save. Perkinson has come up trumps twice for the Lions so far. Just a quick look at the stats. 5 shots on to none. It's certainly agreeing with your point earlier, Andrew, about the Lions needing to generate some shots.
Yeah, fairly consistent in terms of generating chances throughout the 90 last week against the Zebras. And lack of finishing those chances at times being a thing that's plagued them this year, Kingborough. But at the moment, not really creating a whole lot of anything. Maybe that will change now as Danny Cohen gets on it. Sprays it outside to Jack Turner, who looks to take on Jordan Scott. And that was very optimistic from Turner. Just looking for the free kick, and he was never getting it.
No chance there from Jack Turner. He just whacked it in front and then wanted the free kick immediately before he'd even run into Jordan Scott.
Before he'd even started to sell it by running into him, he's claimed it. That's a wonderful ball over the top. Jack Ryan couldn't get it past Perkinson. Again, just a bit too straight at the keeper here. The chances flowing for the Warriors, but no one able to stick it in the back of the net just yet.
Oh, look, it's a strong, solid wave of attacks from Warriors. It's like Hazelwood steaming in just for a nice 10-over spell is what the Warriors are doing at the moment. There's a throw-in taken. Smithy shuffles, manages to clean up. Scott back out with Chef Ryan Cook. Warriors just keeping possession for the moment. Lions staying pretty compact. Steele is up top for the moment. It looks like Turner is just marking Scott at the moment, following him everywhere. Scott's recognising this, trying to move into some more unconventional areas. Stevens. Vandermeek. Now Ladich tries the through ball. Keep going as Bay Kurtz storming forward. Warriors really rotating who they're having bombing on. I've seen Ladich, Scott and Kurtz bomb in to the 18-yard box so far.
Well, now Lucas Hill's the deepest of the midfield, sitting just in front of the back four. It's been a very fluid setup from the Warriors in this first half. Fairly interchangeable as Joel Samet now looking to get in behind of the business Ortman. Former teammates. Outside of him was Zamet. His cross no good for the multiple options they've got. Headed away. And now Kurtz looks up and throws it across to Ryan. Jack Ryan is looking for Scott, who'll just track this one down. And works it into the box, but well done Brayton Allen to break that one up. Jack Turner looks up, down the line for Steele. They've got 2v2 developing in the box. It's a wonderful ball for Turner, and he scuffed it wide. The vision of Steele, the patience, and then he picks the pass. It was wonderful stuff here from the American. In the end, Jack Turner, you expect him to do a little bit better, even on the non-preferred.
There's an inch-perfect pass from Cameron Steele. Just let the ball run to him. And perfectly weighted for Turner, who was making the right run towards the penalty spot. Just could not make the purchase, as you say, on his wrong foot. Still expect someone of his ilk to put the shot on target on that occasion. It's Cook. Strides forward. Mearns. I mean, a good battle with Dowse here. The two players in the state team squad for the match coming up against the Mariners as Ryan's trying to barrel his way through the lines in defence, but that'll roll out for a goal kick. Turner, obviously down the years, scored many a goal against the Warriors in South Hobart colours. Trying to do the same for the Lions.
Yeah, I can remember a couple of celebrations against South Hobart that stick in the mind too from Jack Turner. Fairly boisterous type, it's fair to say, but fairly subdued in the opening 25 minutes here. First meaningful involvement there was to just scuff that one wide. Kurtz I was looking for Mearns, a bit too much on that one though. Spills out the back for the goal kick. So no real threat there. Kurtz swinging that one in on the angle. Making life tough there for Englishman Ryan, who's had a couple of opportunities to get his side off and running in this one. Able to find the back of the net thus far as Perkinson wins this one, looking for Brayton Allen. Just holds up a little in the breeze. Allen shielding it. Almost let Jordan Scott in. Cook looking for Mearns, who just gets run into by Danny Cowan. And the Lions captain protesting the point, but he did seem to just clean Mearnsy up there.
Thought he went in with the stud showing as well, first go, and maybe a slice of cheese. Certainly at least the style of that challenge there from Danny Cowan, it was pretty robust. Not sure how much of the ball he got.
Got away with one last week too. Must be a good fella out the pitch there, Danny Cowan.
He's a good fella off the pitch. I don't know about on the pitch as the ball goes towards the back post. Cleared by Zammit.
Doing something right.
Maybe that off-field persona's helping with on-field decisions potentially.
Perhaps. Ryan Cook across to take this one. They've been knocking on the door for most of the first half here, Olympia. I feel they should have something to show for it. Deep, deep corner. In the end, very little Jack Ryan could do with it. And Lions, I think, would be quite content to get in 0-0 at half-time the way this one's developed.
Yeah, they'll be content to see more corners like that as well. It's not quite of the delivery that we saw Cameron Steele issuing last week for the Lions in their match. Some delicious deliveries on that occasion on Friday night. It's Turner, who seems to have swapped permanently with Steele at the moment. Crossfield ball towards Zammit. Nick Zammit going further on, but goes back towards Mearns, who intercepts Kurtz. American tries to find the business, but that one's only going to go to Steele, who's got a wall of blue in front of him at the moment. Just Brayton Allen trying to join the attack. This time Zammit zooming through, and that's experienced play there from John O'Ladich. Knew exactly what he was doing. Just puts his body in between the ball and the player, wins the foul, relieves pressure on his side. And Charlie White wanting to have a chat not just to move the ball back. Now to Stevens. Lucas Hill trying to get a bit more involved with the game. Obviously starting in that right wing position, we'll call it. Now moving back to defensive mid. Ladich. Huge amount of space there from Ortman, but just can't quite get it under his spell. It's just been that last little bit in the final third, not quite going right for the Warriors this evening.
Yeah, not quite clicking on all cylinders. Olympia, of course, left it very, very late the last time they met the Lions. Well, I don't reckon they would have created 6 chances across the 85 minutes in the lead up to that one. They were well off the pace for most of the game that night, and then slipped it away late on. Tonight, pretty good as Jordan Scott opts for the when in doubt approach. Slapping that one away.
Yeah, sometimes the ball ends up on the highway here at Warrior Park. It's usually over the fence behind the goal, not from the sidewards car park here. That'll take a while to get back from Scott. As Randall sprays one out to Ortman, who needed to be as tall as Lucas Hill, and then nearly puts our camera woman in the way. Oh, the business, thank you very much. Zammit. There's a willing runner in Steele, and there's Vandermeer for company. Ryan bodying up on Smithy Sharples. Back to Ladich. Now Hill gets his head up, wants to spread the play, and finds Cook. All angles shut down by the Lions, so Stevens ends up going himself. Mearns trying to jink his way out of a tight corner there, but turns it over to Turner. Raking ball looking for Zammit. hold up just nicely for Samet with Ladich for company. Not sure if that's a shot or a cross, but Randall has that one covered and let it go out for a goal kick. Vandermeer. It's a heel. Almost Bate Kurtz joining the attack for the Warriors at the moment as well. Interchangeable style of play here tonight. Vandermeer. Ups to go. Long ball towards Ryan. Zamet. Now Mearns should play the 1-2 here. Ryan holds it up, has the shot. Well blocked, and now Cohen can lead the breakaway for the Lions. And just complete miscommunication there with his winger. And as captain, he decides to give his winger a bit of free advice as well at the end of it.
Well, not offering a heap in attack, the Lions, but their midfield is doing a pretty good job getting back to support the defence. He's getting plenty of bodies in the way back there, disrupting the Warriors' players. Lucas Hill now playing very deep, switches the play up. That one cut out by Smithy Sharples. Free kick will go the way of Jack Turner. John Ladich just climbing all over him, and Turner gives him a little nudge in the chest afterwards. So thanks for coming. As Cuthbertson out to Dowse, who's been quiet so far in this one. That's a lovely looking ball up towards Steele though. Brings it down with the head. Allen plays it early, looking for Samet. Controlled it with his head, and Ortman with a good sense to track that ball and see it out in the end. And two players who would be very familiar with each other's games, I suspect, in the business, Ortman and Joel Samet.
Yeah, I reckon they've played with each other a fair few times over the past years here at Warrior Park. Coming through Warriors Academy as two players have hit the deck in the middle of the park, and that'll probably see the game held up. Kurtz went down, as did Zamet. Given a free kick or a drop ball here is White. Looks like it's going to be a drop ball on this occasion. I think Lions giving it back to the Warriors, I would assume. Or are we going to have a contested one? No. Do love a good contested drop ball. Stevens. Out to Vandermeer. Altman in some space on the right-hand side. Ladich does go there. One looking for Ryan. Just misplaced that pass. You can see what he was trying to do there, Altman, with the execution not quite coming off. And after that barrage of attempts earlier, the Warriors also quieting down in the shots area. Perkinson. Out to Zamet. Cut off by Altman. Cohen. Turner. Downs getting on the ball. Haven't had to call his name much so far. Steele crowded out by Warriors. Kurtz plays it through to Mearns. Ryan's in a good acre of space if he stays onside. Jack Ryan makes it 1-0 for the Warriors. Just held his run nicely. And coolly slots that one home.
He wasn't going to miss this time. Jack Ryan, as he absolutely thumps that home. Emphatic finish from the Englishman. And the Warriors with a well-deserved goal after a pretty dominant first half here. They take the lead on 34 minutes through their English frontman, Jack Ryan. As we have a look at a lovely little ball through from Mearns to release him. Touch to take it onto the left, and nothing Perkinson could do, picking out the far corner to perfection. And Jack Ryan enjoyed it, so too did Bate Kurtz.
Certainly did, and Cuthbertson not happy with the AR. I think Dowse accidentally played him onside running back, because Dowse put his hand up in the air to appeal for offside and then put it back down immediately. Cuthbertson didn't see him, so I'm just going to trust Keenan Dowse's opinion there on that potential offside call. There's Samet. Back towards Cowan, plays a nice ball. Zamet on the overlapping run, gets past Hill, has Steele for company. It's going to roll through to the keeper. The Lions defence finally falling at the hands of the Warriors. They'll probably, to be honest, do well to keep it at 1-0 for as long as possible. Turner. There's no options going forward, so goes back to Cuthbertson. Allen, good flick onto Steele. Keeps going again. It's Douse on the overlap up against Cook. Oh, goes a little Berbatov move there. Does Douse, not quite coming off on this occasion. Still got it as Douse. Doesn't have a whole lot of support either, but just manages to get around Cook. Scott coming across to concede the corner. Douse has done very well there on that occasion.
Yeah, some fancy footwork there from Keenan Douse. Confidence clearly flowing after those last few weeks when he's looking to pull off those kind of moves.
That's the confidence, Mo.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Didn't quite go full Berbatov, as you suggest. He certainly had the first half of that glorious move that he used to pull off every single week. But, he might just sneak in for the short one here while Laddich's back is turned. That's exactly what he does. Plays the 1-2. Dangerous ball, that. And in the end, forced to tip it over to prevent an own goal. I think his Derby Randall there gets back and punches it over the top and ends up just entangled in the net. But did well for his side there. Crucial save, this one.
Good save. Had to do it, and the short one's nearly on here, but this time they won't. Just coming over his head and was looping in as that one's right underneath. Flaps at it on this occasion as Randall, but Stevens bails him out. Now to Douse. Right to the head of Ryan, and I think that'll go out for a throw-in. That assistant referee still causing us all sort of focus problems here.
Oh, just the autofocus. Just loving old mate there, just bobbing up in the corner. Go have a word with him, Tony. Just get him out of the picture here. What's going on with your referee's positioning? Just really stitching up for blaster on that camera there as the long throw comes in. Allowed to bounce. Danny Cohen gets to it. Cuthbertson competing. Hits the deck again, and Vandermeer smashes it out of there. Salmon with an ambitious volley that is well wide of the mark. And behind for a goal kick. Probably the Lions' best spell of the game in the last 2 minutes there.
Yeah, certainly think so. Lucas Hill still not happy he didn't get a free kick there after being sandwiched by two Lions. Vandermeer. Oops, for the raking ball towards Ryan, and that's a lovely ball towards Jack Ryan, who's going to hit it, but just misses the near post of Perkinson. Did sit up nicely for the Englishman. Fantastic pass from Vandermeer. Hit him right on the chest. And took a good first touch. Not quite with the finish, Jack Ryan, as Allen wins that in front of Scott. Falls to Hill. Now Vandermeer immediately pressured. Stevens wants to go back to the keeper. The Lions just growing in a little bit of confidence here in the last few minutes. Ryan. Mearns wanted to give him the return ball. Now Cowan. Cowan still going, his captain. Unfortunately, can't quite find Allen. Well intercepted by Cook. Randall straight down the middle, but Smithy Sharples didn't have to move an inch to head that one clear. Mearns. Randall can get take two. This time goes short to Vandermeer. Just playing it around the back for the moment are the Warriors. John Scott dropping to be the deepest outfield player for the Warriors to try and get a touch. Stevens. Out to Mearns. Good ball in the direction of Ryan. He's got goal side of Zammit. Flicks it back to Ladich, who I thought was going to hit it then, but it's Ryan who hits it. Deflected. Falls to Kurtz. Kurtz tries to hit it out to a teammate. Does get it to Ortman. Still maintaining possession are the Warriors. Thought Ladich was going to hit a rasping drive there earlier. This time deflected off the head of Ryan to Kurtz. Now Vandermeer. Crosses it in. Scott will retrieve. Lions not out of danger just yet. Ryan calling for it at the back post. I think he wanted it more inwards rather than out there. Tries the back heel to get around Zammit, but the Warriors very close to another goal there on that occasion.
Yeah, really nicely worked move between Ladich and Ryan. As you mentioned, Ladich destined to just smash it with the laces, instead opting to play it back in towards Ryan and watching a pretty good chance for the Englishman. Well blocked away by Smithy Sharples, who only cleared one off the line a little earlier and makes the crucial shot block there. Jack Ryan has been in absolutely everything for the Warriors as they play this one back to Vandermeer. Now Lucas Hill, heavy touch, nearly let in Jack Turner. He'll be sweating on those centre-backs all day. You never have too long on the ball when Jack Turner is in the opposition. Just always pressing, working hard. Suspicions of handball there. Jordan Scott counters that one into Cuthbertson. And Smithy sharples away. And out of play it goes as we're into the final 5 minutes here of the first half. Olympia holding sway 1-0, and they've been firmly on top throughout the first half. Well and truly good value for the advantage. This one's chipped over the top. Lovely ball again. That one to release Jack Ryan, who will look to find Kurtz, who puts it away with a tidy finish to double the Warriors' advantage. Again, a Vandermeer long ball from the back, just releasing Jack Ryan, puts it into Kurtz, and a well-taken finish from the American.
Simple but effective from the Warriors. It's worked well the last few minutes. Those long diagonal balls from Vandermeer, and this time found Ryan, who took one look up. Kurtz bursting forward from centre mid and was on hand to knock it clear. It just went over the head of Zammit. And as you can see, Ryan looking for where his teammates are. He only had one in the box, but he only needed one. Kurtz into the ground, over the head of Perkinson. And here's 2-0 to the Warriors. Can the Lions do a reverse of what happened last time? They'll have to if they want to get a victory out of this game. As Cohen sends it forward where there was no real striker waiting for the Lions. Warriors walked down to third before half-time. But Ryan has been really impressive so far tonight. And there he is with another flick on with Kurtz running in and does nearly get there. Perkinson out well to collect, but he's been involved in pretty much all the good moves from the Warriors today.
Yeah, a couple he might have felt he might have done a little bit better with in terms of the finishing, but it's been a pretty powerful first half from Jack Ryan, who's been too much to handle for this Kingborough defence. They've struggled to contain him, and now is set up Kurtz for that one. Pretty good first 45 from a powerfully built Englishman who's, again, just trying to match up with Zammit. We saw Lucas Hill start out there when he was playing a more advanced role. Seems like I think the area route targeting Nick Zammit might be the option rather than going more centrally where Cuthbertson's lurking. And you can't argue with the results so far as Stevens finds the feet of Scott. He's got Cook overlapping for him, although perhaps not quickly enough. They really get him behind, so Scott just stops to recycle it out to Stevens. Vandermeer, his diagonals have been causing all sorts of troubles. This one he just overhits, but the long-range distribution of Vandermeer has been a feature of the Warriors in this first half. And led to that second goal. He thumps this header forward, looking for Mearns. Danny Cohen was working back. Downs just launches it straight up into the air. Downs did pretty well to bring it down, but he gets the better of Scott. Turner, the head of Cook, Dowse, Brayton Allen, the former Warrior, up against the chef, and he wins the throw-in for his side.
Done well there, Brayton Allen. Dowse to take the throw. Sammett's come all the way across from his wing position and turned it over. Mearns. Ryan clipped after he played the ball. Kurtz picks it up anyway. Mearns wants it, so does Ladich. Eventually goes to Ladich. Ryan, Scott waiting in the middle, goes towards Jack Ryan. It's over the top from the Englishman. Pretty unhappy with himself with that attempt. Turner, he's immediately crowded out. Not much he can do with that. Warriors back with their foot on the ball with 1 minute plus stoppage time to go in this first half. Cook goes towards Ryan. Gets it on the chest, takes it down. Ladich waiting, so was Ortman. Now Mearns. Chest touch is a bit too heavy. Now back to Hill. Mearns tried the fancy through ball. Not coming off on this occasion. Now Jack Turner. Trying to turn around the mountain. Downs. Out to Dowse, who has a fair bit of room to run into. Allen goes to the old dummy trick. Stevens manages to clean up. Gets the ball back to Stevens. Now Mearns. Putting in a good performance here tonight with that berth in the state team, a possibility for him. Altman can't quite pick out a pass. And Kurtz spying the run of Ryan, but this time not getting enough loft on it to get over the head of Zammit. Lions just not managing to keep the ball on the deck either. Thought the referee was about to blow for half time there, but one last attack available to the Warriors. The Stevens. And he looks like he's ready for half time at this moment as Stevens. A raking ball out towards Ortman. Hits it on first time towards Kurtz. No one waiting in the box at the moment. Cuthbertson clears. Zammit. Ungainly knee to try and find touch. Scott. Body work there from Kurtz and Zammit as Charlie White close for half time. Olympia Warriors 2-0 to the good and probably deserving of such a result. They've had the majority of the possessions, created 5 or 6 clear-cut chances and are well on their way to securing victory in this one.
Yeah, been a dominant first 45 from Olympia. And Kingborough will need to turn things around. They've been pretty good at adjusting in matches and coming out a little bit better. Just against a good game day coach in that regard, but he's going to need to really conjure something up today to get his charges back into it because they've looked well off the pace. Olympia firmly in control and 2 goals, one from Jack Ryan, another set up by that man, have them in a very strong position to win this game. It would take quite the turnaround. We'll be back in around about 15 minutes' time to see if that's possible. But as it stands, it is Olympia 2, Kingborough 0. Caught again by Cook. He'll have a little back heel from Mearns to Lucas Hill. Hill dwells on it, then picks his spot brilliantly, blocked on the line. A goal-saving block.
Coming in there, not exactly quite sure what to do in that position. Just hesitated slightly as Scott whips this one in across the box, deflected. Is that in? Referee stays still. Shouts for the goal.
Jack Turner's career as Joel Samet drives one in, looking for that man Turner, but Jack Vandermeer was there and puts it behind for the corner.
I completely forgot about it.
Out of that trio, especially in the last month or so, is Jordan Scott with a wickedly taken one, and that's just cleared away. It was not too far away.
See if he can dish up an early dinner. Goes towards the near post and headed by Ryan over the top of the goal. That's the position you want. Ladich now beats 3. Gets the return ball off Ryan. Ladich still going. John Ladich, great save, Perkinson. Ryan trying to get back at it again. To take. Doesn't have a whole lot of options. Goes to Ryan, who gets clattered after headering it, and this time the free kick is
trying to give their side the lead. It is Jordan Scott, drives it straight into the wall and then smashes the rebound all well over the top, although a little deflect so far, really controlling this game. As Jordan Scott chips this one over the top. Oh, perfectly spins into the path of Jack Ryan, and he's shut down by Perkinson, covering his near post well. And the Englishman probably should have, before it even started to sell it by running into him, he's claimed it. That's a wonderful ball over the top. Jack Ryan couldn't get it past Perkinson. Again, just a bit too.
To make. Now Ladich tries the through ball. Keep going as Bay Kurtz storming forward. Warriors.
For Steele, they've got 2v2 developing in the box. It's a wonderful ball for Turner, and he scuffed it wide. The vision of shielding it. Almost let Jordan Scott in. For Mearns, who just gets run into by Danny Cowan.
Join the attack, this time Samet. Swimming through, and that's experienced play there from John Ladich. Knew exactly what he was doing. There he is. Kurtz plays it through to Mearns. Ryan's in a good acre of space if he stays onside. Jack Ryan makes it 1-0 for the Warriors. Just held his run nicely. And coolly slots that one home.
He wasn't going to miss this time. Jack Ryan, as he absolutely thumps that home. Emphatic finish from the English turn. That's exactly what he does. Lays the 1-2. Dangerous ball, that. And in the end, forced to tip it over to prevent an own goal. I think his Derby Randall there gets back and...
Vandermeer. Oops, for the raking ball towards Ryan, and that's a lovely ball towards Jack Ryan, who's going to hit it, but just misses the near post of Perkinson. Did sit up nicely, all in the direction of Ryan. He's got goal side of Zammit. Flicks it back to Latich, who I thought was going to hit it then, but it's Ryan who hits it, deflected. Falls to Kurtz. Kurtz tries to hit it out to a teammate, does get it to Ortman.
Really good value for the advantage. This one's chipped over the top. Lovely ball again. That one to release Jack Ryan, who will look to find Kurtz, who puts it away with a tidy finish to double the Warriors' advantage. Again, a Vandermeer long ball from the back, just releasing Jack Ryan, puts it into Kurtz, and a well taken.
Eventually goes to Latich. Ryan, Scott waiting in the middle, goes towards Jack Ryan. It's over the top from the Englishman. Pretty unhappy.
me know. Okay. Hey Ash, yeah, I put the camera on and I put the display on and the camera's mic is not moving, like, you know, how the sound is. Click, click, click. No, it's not going. Did you turn it off or? The camera's mic is not. Oh, well, you better bring one because. Okay, so there will be no sound then because it's not going. Oh yeah, now there was a little bar there just a minute ago. Uh huh. Yeah. Uh huh. Okay. I don't know where to change it on the bloody camera. It's okay. Okay, we'll have to untape it. And where does it change? On the mic, actually? You have to come and just let it. Well, you just don't do a replay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, but you don't need to do anything. I will film. They don't need to do replays until you fix it. You just come here. Okay. Bye.
And we're back for the second half here at Warrior Park. Olympia, 2 goals to the good. Jack Ryan and Bay Kurtz have them well on the way to victory. And a pretty dominant first 45, all things considered. And now we'll see if they can finish the job. Of course, it was a 2-0 scoreline the last time these teams met deep into the contest. It was reversed, though. It was the Lions leading that one 2-0 until inexplicably it was 3-2 Olympia at the end. Can Kingborough do the reverse here, Paul Hunt?
Well, it's going to be a tough ask, but then again, I thought Olympia's this was pretty tough down at Lightwood Park a few weeks ago, so I'm not going to say it's impossible. That is usually the kind of comeback you only see once in a season, one that Jordan Scott managed to produce. But the Lions, they do have that combative style, as we mentioned, that is suited to Warrior Park. I now understood what our esteemed friend was worrying about. Having a slightly more oval-shaped ball nestled into the back of the net was causing a bit of concern there just before the game gets started. Right, look, I do think it's possible, but judging by the way the first half went, it would really have to be the old cliche of a game of two halves in order for the Lions to come back. As we're nearly ready to get back underway. I'd be surprised if that oval-shaped ball has made its way well out of the ground shortly. Heavily deflated. Almost had a... Imagine that sitting there rolling onto the field, had a beach ball type incident from Sunderland Liverpool all those years ago, just deflecting in.
Is that Darren Bent?
Darren Bent is correct, against Rayner.
Good area is that.
Shout out to Premier League having an official YouTube channel and popping up 16-minute best goals of every season in the last couple of weeks. Thank you for getting that underway. Speaking of underway, we're underway here at Warrior Park for something a bit more recent. Steele managing to get on the ball. Forward in the Allen direction. Balls to Downs. And there's Samet out on the left wing, who just about falls over himself, but just about ends up with it. Allen. Stevens rising high. Turner battling away. Turner managing to get the ball in, but right under the throat of Darby Randall. As we mentioned, taking his place in goal. I think only his third appearance for the season. Cole McDonald out injured for tonight's match. Ortman long in the Ryan direction. Smithy Sharples being worked off it by Ryan. Ryan into the box. Scott waiting for it, but just waiting too long. And Cowan comes back from centre mid and clears. Kurtz sprays it out to Ortman. Now Randall just thump it long. Seems a lot more inclined just to clear the ball from his area, does Randall, compared to McDonald. Used to the Warriors being very more composed around the back. As well, there must be a substitution, because that's Joffrey and Koso on the ball doing a nice roller coaster into Chris Downs. And now it's Samet. Koso forward towards Ryan.
Replace Lucas Hill, I would suggest.
Okay.
His towering presence appears to be absent.
Pretty obvious one to miss. Can't believe I didn't spot it before the game got underway, but anyway. Back to Van der May. Who's some delightful through balls in that first half. Kurtz. Back to Cook. Maybe just not being able to find a spot for Hill in the lineup potentially while he was removed. He played about 3 different positions in that first half already.
He did enter the game under an injury cloud, though, so it's a fair chance that's contributed to it, although I didn't see him aggravated, but distinct possibility as Nick Mearns does well to remain on the ball. Has it on a string here as he sends it out across to Nkoso, who just bounces off of Danny Cowan. Mearns with the dummy to let it run, but Scott wasn't quite anticipating it. They're pulling out the moves here to start the second half. The Olympia Warriors going to put on a show for their fans. Jordan Scott just worked off it. Now Steele. A little run down the left here, and chance perhaps for a shot. It's a poor one in the end from Zamet. Tugged wide of the mark.
Randall getting us back underway in this.
In fact, that was James Hall, so a substitution also made by the Kingborough Lions.
Well,
it was 3. There's a 3, not 4, running down this side. So yeah, James Hall's come on. Looks like Joel Samet will push back into left back. And he might also find himself in a little bit of trouble here. Charlie White just giving him good morning.
Usually in the shirt pull when the winger's peeling off outside to make a run. Usually comes with some cheddar, but Samet running away from the scene of the crime and getting away with it. Yeah, we're clearly focused on other players at the venue rather than the ones on the field at halftime. A few faces of Tasmanian football making an appearance.
You know, Mees just saw him having a kick out there, striding across after a hat-trick against Clarence this afternoon.
Joined by Eddie Bidwell as Randall under a little bit of pressure. Does just about enough. Eventually cleared by the Warriors. Ryan. Mearns. Backing out wide to the business. Ortman looks up. Spies the run of Mearns, who got the flick on but couldn't find a teammate. And Cohen looks like he's dropped so deep they've gone to a back 3/5 for the moment, the Lions. Dowse and Samet as wing backs, and Cohen, Smithy Sharples and Cuthbertson in the heart of defence. Downs with space to run into. Tries to find Allen. Now here's James Hall.
Yeah, Jack Turner's dropped back into central midfield too, so clearly not happy with the way the midfield battle was going. He's deployed Turner in there. Brayton Allen now leading the Lions centrally. So a formation tweak from Jez Kempf, and something had to be done really because they were being well and truly belted in that midfield area. As worryingly for the Warriors, Paul Stevens is down behind the play here, a man who's had plenty of injury troubles this year.
Yeah, he does end up on the deck a fair bit, unfortunately. It is Paul Stevens, particularly with that troublesome knee of his. Did see him here one evening go down in the first half and then pretty much played on the entire rest of the game. I mean, sometimes it just comes and goes. I think it's got to do with him sort of twisting and turning. He's pretty good in the straight line all the time, but sometimes a bit of sideways movement is required. He sometimes doesn't like it. See him hobbling off the pitch for the moment. We'll see if that is a permanent end to his night or not. They do look in. Rob Clark and Jordan Scott are in deep discussions at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how that shapes up, particularly after having just subbed Lucas Hill at half-time.
Yeah, it would have been an easy fix had the Mountains still been out there, but John O'Ladich looks like... also, Bay Kurtz has dropped back for the time being, and Ladich has dropped back just in front of him. So I suppose Kurtz has played some pretty accomplished football at centre-half this year as well, so blessed with plenty of options for that role. It looks like the substitution will be made here for the Warriors. Ben Curtis going to come on. So another one who can play it either centre-back or central midfield. We'll see where he slides in. Looks like he might be in the midfield with Kurtz dropping back into the centre-back role. He has certainly showed he's more than capable of playing. He's played full-back, central mid, the wing. As this one won't fall for Jack Ryan. Danny Cohen, who has indeed slid back to centre-half himself. Worked to Samet, who got to Turner. Now Brayton Allen. And Kurtz just a little overzealous there, and off balance was Allen hitting the deck, drawing the free kick.
Yeah, I think he got two hands in the back of the attacker there. Ben Curtis also with a few minutes under his legs today, playing in the Challenge League earlier on. Downs to send in this one over the head of Allen. Cleared by Cook. Curtis gets his first touch on the ball. Does his knock that one out of play. Dowse. Nice little flick by Turner, looking for the run of Dowse, but I don't think he was ever getting that one. Roll out for a throw-in is completely under artificial light here at Warrior Park. Randall to take. A couple of nervy moments there in the first half, but nothing major to speak of. Cuthbertson up against Ryan. Wins out on this occasion as the Stork and whips in a first-time ball. That has hit nothing but the back fence on the full. Another throw-in for Randall. Randall sizing up some options. Out towards Kurtz. Now Scott Looks for Nkoso. Heavy touch from the king of the Andals. Just about wins it back. Kurtz sizing up Hall. Doesn't win on this occasion. Tries to play it through to Samet. Ortman does well in coverage. And concedes the foul. No advantage paid on that occasion. Kurtz will take in no particular hurry. Out to the business. Mearns making the run. Doesn't go in that direction. Instead it'll fall to Vandermeer.
And just strike it back to Darby Randall. Warriors with a 2-0 lead. Getting it pretty comfortably here at the moment. I don't want to take the foot too far off the accelerator. There's a cheeky little nutmeg there from Jordan Scott on Hall. And eventually Randall swings it high into the night sky, and Mearns takes it down and chips it over the top. It was just in behind of Ryan though. And him no favours there, and this will be a Lions throw in too. And he throws the ball away, and Charlie White shows some interest and thinks let him have the benefit of the doubt. Jack Turner is clearly fouled there by John O'Ladich. Making sure he couldn't get past, taken quickly by Downs, who
A, it was moving. B, it was 15 yards away from the foul.
Oh man, it's as you say, it's moving. It's nowhere near the foul, but he saw the keeper off his line and he got excited and he launched it. Now Danny Cowan, I don't think he'll do likewise. Instead, he sprays it out wide for Keenan Dowse in a pocket of space. Brings it under his spell. Steele. Brought down by Joffrey and Koso. And Downs will come across again.
Well, I thought Keenan Dowse would take that free kick, saying it's about his range. Does like a nice shot from that right-hand side lately.
With the left foot of Steele instead. The third one, and he gets far too much on that. Well over the back. Not the set-piece delivery they were looking for there.
Cowan and Ryan resuming their battle at the back post there. Cowan appealing for a free kick, but I think in the ball going miles away from anywhere. I mean, he wasn't going to get a look in. Now it's Vandermeer. Now to Cook. Plays it into Mearns. Now Curtis. Can't find Ryan. Cowan with a fair bit of time on the ball. Gets it onto the head of Vandermeer. Another option for the Warriors. Steele intercepts. There's Turner in the middle of the park. Wants to spray it towards Hall, whose first touch is good. His second isn't bad, and just missing the opportunity. It's Steele! Deflected wide. The American got that shot on target. Crucial toe-in from the Olympia defender. We'll see it out for a corner. We'll see in that sea of bodies who that was that got the final touch. But Hall managed to get round one, got round two. Just that extra toe-in. It fell wonderfully to Steele. And it's the back Achilles of Vandermeer's back to live play. That one's gone towards the back post. Will they get a corner? They do get another. And the Lions starting to build some pressure here in this second half. Steele to take. Cohen wants it at the back post. Goes in that direction. And it's come off Cohen last. We'll roll out for a throw-in. Try to pen the Warriors in here with the Lions.
Well, the adjustments from Jez Kempth at half-time seem to have got his side back into the game. They're certainly looking more likely than they did in the first half. But the Warriors with a threat back the other way here. Joffrey and Koso gets it from Mearns, and Keenan Dowse tracking back hard, but Koso spreads it out the other side to Jordan Scott. Just a heavy touch there from the Englishman, though. Let Danny Cowan in. The experienced, I suppose you'd have to say, utility these days. He's started the year as a striker. He's been playing centre-back and midfield. As Dowse goes looking for Hall. It's a pretty good ball, too. Melts it down into the path of Brayton Allen, who scuffs his shot straight into the hands of Darby Randall as he tries to make an impact upon his return to Warrior Park, but able to beat his former teammate there.
Not quite on that occasion. It's Cook Tries to find Nkoso. It's Cuthbertson for company. Curtis. Out to Ortman. Scott sizing up an option. It's not quite getting the crispness of pass here in this second half that the Warriors had in the first. Kurtz doing well to intercept. Ladich. Scott was in a good pocket of space to start with. Goes there eventually. Mearns tries to play the 1-2. Ends up getting it himself. Now towards Scott. And Koso and Mearns up ahead, sliding in as Smithy Sharples. I thought he went in quite early there, but got the ball. Didn't concede the corner. Thought he premeditated that slide a little bit too much. They take it short. Now Scott. Trying to get on the right peg. So was Mearns. Turner recognising that as well. Scott tries for the nutmeg and it all ends up coming to naught for the Warriors. Now Kurtz. All the way back to Ortman. Looks up. And just being forced further and further back. Now the Warriors and a rash clearance. Doesn't get a great deal of distance on it, does Darby Randall. After all that, the Warriors do end up with a throw-in. Good pressure from the Lions. Some of the passing of the Warriors in this second half, not pleasing their home faithful.
No, leaving a little bit to be desired. Now he's getting a little restless as this one's nodded back down. Koso headed it forward. Smithy Sharples away and Koso pouncing. Danny Cowan showing good strength. Daddy's pocket picked by Nkoso. King of the Andals knocks it back to Jordan Scott under pressure from Hall. Again, just running out of room near touchline. 15 minutes gone in the second half. Lions certainly with a better foothold in this game, but 2 goals to the good are the Warriors as Mearns just dwells on the ball a moment, tried to find Jack Ryan, couldn't do so. Danny Cowan getting a foot in, they spread it out wide for Keenan Dowse, who just drives it down the line. It's a dangerous looking ball from Rayton Allen. In the end, Vandermeer defended the situation pretty well. Cook. Didn't see much ahead of him. Found Scott. Switches it out to the business Ortman. Ortman driving it to a fairly vacant little corner of the ground in the end. Just Keenan Dowse back there for the Lions. Steele. Driven by Cuthbertson for the run of Hall, but the business leads him away and then Hall loses his footing. Ortman searching ball for Jack Ryan. He'll do very well if he can keep this in. Indeed he has. That's superb work from Jack Ryan. Busting to get there is Nick Mearns. Now Mearns squares it looking for Ryan. Well read by Dowse. Nkoso. He's got Jack Ryan unmarked at the back post. That's where he heads. Danny Cowan showed good strength to back into that one. Copped a bit of a whack for the trouble, but he'll get his side the goal kick.
Yeah, done well there. There's Cowan. Just got enough on it to get away from Ryan. I think he's actually given it for the foul in the end. It was Dowse. Tries to find Hall. The spin should fall to Samet, but didn't quite read it. Ortman gets a toe into it. Cleared out for a throw. Taking it is Samet. Down the line towards Hall, who just aimlessly hits it up in the air. Ladich claim those ones every day. And Koso, it's just going to get off his head a bit too much. Good thought from Ryan. And throwing will be taken a bit further up the field. Turner, Samet, Downs, Steele with time to turn and run if he wants to. Sprays it out wide to Dowse, who's on his bike. Has time to set and cross. Scott gets over there. Cook can't prevent the corner. So another corner for the Lions. And complimenting Steele's set-piece delivery last week. Not been that great so far this afternoon. We'll see what he can do from this one. There's everyone crowding that 6-yard box area. Puts a bit of loft on this one to Steele. Cuthbertson rises high. Back in the mix of Turner up high. Randall keep that one in. It's going to be a goal kick, unfortunately, for Randall. Can't quite get the quick break going on this occasion. And you just take his time and trot over to the other side as well, as you do. And again, opting to go long from the goal kick. Into the centre, Turner, out to Dowse. Whacks it into the backside of Scott standing in front of him and gives Nkoso space to run. King of the Handles. Lays it off to Ryan. Scott open on the far side. Warriors will just keep possession on the grandstand side for the moment. Ortman. Curtis. Towing from Turner. Now eventually the Warriors will go out to the left-hand side of the ground. Scott. Can't get his touch in. Miscommunication there from the Lions. Smithy Sharples just cleaned up his own teammate on that occasion. Cook. Spotting the runner, Ryan, goes in that direction, gets to his feet. Bit casual there, Ryan. Maybe he had time to take a touch and go into the box himself. Curtis. To Ladich. Good run from Nkoso, well cut out, but the spin will not be kind to Nkoso. It falls out for a goal kick.
Another one of those little dink balls from Jordan Scott. We've seen a few to tremendous effect played by the Englishman tonight. Nkoso just heavy with the touch on that occasion. Perkinson driving it long, away by Van der May. Steele to Cowan. Direct approach looking for Brayton Allen, but the chef Ryan Cook able to nod back to Randall, who bowls this one out there towards Ortman. Just got away from him a little. Jack Ryan with some good body work on Danny Cowan, and now Scott looking for Nkoso, but a little too central. Just invited Smithy Sharples to intercept, and he duly does. And across he goes to Dowse. Like what he saw further afield. Opts to play it to the big stalk Cuthbertson, who just punches it out looking for Joel Samet. Good control from Samet. Wide to Dowse again they go. Resuming his battle with Ryan Cook. A couple of former South Hobart players there as Dowse turning, and now Samet. Samet, well, they knew very well this Olympia defence. He wanted it on his left foot. They not for a moment thought he was going to hit that with his right. Very familiar with Samet. Played so many years with him, and he definitely wanted to shape onto the left there. Just thought for a moment, another one of the chipped efforts might be looming from Keenan Dowse as he cut inside. Or, nasty falcon there for the business Ortman. Just got absolutely clattered at close range. You would have felt that.
Charlie White immediately stopping the game. Ortman just quickly trying to distinguish what planet he's on for the moment. And at least this potential concussion test won't be done directly into the sun like we saw in the Women's Super League game earlier. It was back to his feet a bit quicker than that occasion is the business Ortman. Now camera temporarily doing what Ortman was seeing there for a moment as well with the focus.
Just
a bit blurry.
Just a lifelike experience.
Yeah.
View back there.
Going virtual reality on Slice of Cheese. It's the next frontier.
Really taking it next level. You ever wonder what it's like to be clattered in the face from a yard away? It's something like that.
Let's just not have VR on Cuthbertson's free kick block earlier.
Yes.
Scott.
No one needs to experience that. This one swung over the top. Perkinson collects. Again, looking to get things moving for his side. Cook beating Turner in the air and then spills out to Mearns. And there's a 4-on-4 at the back here as Jordan Scott carries forward. He turns onto that right. Steele put him off as he works it back to Curtis. Curtis couldn't find Nkoso. It was nice work from Steele, just sensing Scott wanted to turn onto that right and fire one off. Just block that avenue off to him. And with it, died the attack in the end. Douse. Down the line where Turner's making a bursting run, but a bit too much on it again. One's really pumping the long balls now, hoping to find one which they'll hope can become two and spark something.
Yeah, maybe just hoping for a bit of confusion at the back of the slightly more unfamiliar keeper there. And Vandermeer and Kurtz wouldn't have played together too often. Throw in taken by the Warriors. Ryan Mearns towards Scott, who's going to whack this one first time looking for Ryan, but he just pulls the shirt over his head in disgust on that occasion. Taken down the line towards Douse. The wind is going to take that one on that occasion. As damn, I wish we had an alternate, about another two microphones going on here. Get some dual language commentary going on. Fantastic. There's Kurtz. Back to Randall. Just taking his time is Darby Randall. Long in the Ryan direction. Cohen rises high. Mearns. He's almost managed to give himself cramp from that slide challenge, which is an impressive effort. And there's a sub in the offing for the Lions. It looks like Chris Downs coming off. And the familiar salad of Phil Cansos coming on, who was doing some great juggling tricks in the pre-game earlier on. If his career outfield doesn't take off, he'll do pretty good as one of those buskers doing football tricks. Phil Cansos. Cansos gets his first touch. Only as far as Ladich. Ladich looking to spread the play to Nkoso. There's Douse immediately on his backside as the rain starts to fall here at Warrior Park. It was forecasted for late evening. I was hoping it would be after about 8 o'clock, but not tonight. It's Ryan. Gets around Cerner. Looks up and spies Nkoso, who may have strode half a yard offside. Flag stays down. Nkoso. Scott. Clipped. No foul given. Touch from Hall. Cansos on the ball. Now Curtis. As far as Vandermeer. Just manages to whack that right into a white shirt straight in front of him. Now Randall. Over the head. Wasteful clearance there from the keeper. Lions trying to immediately turn the tide, but a foul is given as, judging by looking like on the screen, that's more that kind of sideways rain we're used to seeing up at Darcy Street happening at Warrior Park at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely coming down here for the final 20 minutes of this one. The Warriors 2-0 ahead and fairly comfortable here. The Lions haven't asked too many questions. They'd be better in this second half. It's been a pretty scrappy old affair. Jordan Scott looks like a man hungry for a goal. I'd say he was due. I think he's just trying to make that a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy here as Mearnsy comes across and thumps a header out of play. But I think the Warriors don't need to come out of their shells too much with a 2-goal lead. We just want to see this one out.
Oh, it's probably the thing that the Warriors have done best this year is I think in seasons past, in games like this, they'd continue to attack and be a little bit too leaky at the back, whereas this year the thing that's been most impressive for mine is the way they've closed out a fair few games. And in other seasons they may have dropped points at. And Scott tries to find Nkoso, but only find Perkinson.
Launches this one. Gets some good purchase on it too. All the way over the head of Ryan Cook and to his opposing keeper, Darby Randall. He's just going to eat up as many seconds as possible. Making all come and chase him. Always like that from the keeper. Great gamesmanship as Vandermeer finds Curtis in a little bit of room. Now Mearns. And Nkoso looked a little offside here for mine, and the flag goes straight up on him. It appeared to have strayed. Cross gave in, and Koso's wondering, what's going on? Why have you turned your back? And Ryan just points to the officials. This offside.
Just almost hit him, and it was almost the perfect pass to his feet. He's just already turned around and seen the decision, but throw in? Okay. Anyway.
The flag was blatantly raised.
The play had stopped, and then they've taken a throw in. That's Curtis. Misplaces that one. Outside of the boot, looking for Hall. Samet underneath this one. Now, it falls to Mearns, and Koso again. It just about stayed onside on that occasion, but this time the pass didn't get there. Samet wanting to take it quickly. Mearns rolling the ball away, really stretching the length of play there, not allowing a quick free kick. Cohen wants a free kick, not given, and he's going to have to turn around and get the ball. That's certainly a free kick on Smithy Sharples. It's just getting a bit scrappy here the last few minutes. Cohen desperate for a free kick, and again that wasn't given either, so it's just no rules football here at the moment. Cuthbertson. Lindsay looks like he's done for the day, unfortunately, at the centre of the park. Kurtz.
Yeah, he's just stretching a bit of cramp out, I reckon.
Back to his feet.
Might still be the end of his day anyway. But he's back on. He's not going up that. He's having that. He's gone, I'm going to try and get there, taken one step and gone, this was a terrible idea. And he's immediately back on his haunches, unfortunately, for Nick Mearns, a prodigiously talented player who's had a shocking run of injuries this year. He's been about as clean a run as he's had at it. But clearly struggling a little bit. That might be the end of his evening.
Interesting to see who comes on for the Warriors. It'll be their third and final sub for the evening. We've got Jake Thompson, pretty likely.
It'll be Thompson or Hills.
Thompson.
Yep. See where he slides in.
In the merry-go-round of where the Warriors players are playing tonight.
Primarily been a right back this season, but seems to be playing centre forward at the moment.
Why not?
Why not? Indeed. Although now he's shifting out wide on the left, so yeah, not too sure. Might just have gone straight to Mearns' midfield role, following the play a little as this one swung towards Jack Ryan. Really good flick on that from Ryan. Found in Koso, but took it straight to the path of Keenan Dowse. Then want to back off him, still going in Koso. And sliding out was Kenneth Perkinson. Good strength from the keeper. As the King of the Andals threatened to score an absolute stunner there, skipping past defenders like witches' hats.
I was about to compliment Keenan Dowse on his return pace getting back. And then somehow coughed it up with Nkoso still going. Did take fleet feet. Perkinson coming off his line, and Steele rises high. Turner going to come down with this one. Vandermeer gets a toe in. Dowse headers forward. Turner tries to get past Thompson. Not on this occasion. Cuthbertson. There's Dowse. Curtis from the air swing. Now Steele. First time cross to the top of the box. Scott. Plenty of composure. Not the best clearance from Randall. He'll get away with it on this occasion. It's Dowse. Beaten out by Thompson. And let's just have a look at the wind on that one. That has stopped dead and gone backwards about 10 metres. Nearly caught it up in the air. Scott battling with Samet. Ladich rising high. Cohen just settles the ball down and says, let's get some shape and organised here. Tries to find Dowse on the overlap. And it's going to skid like anything on this pitch.
Yeah, the wind behind it had the fast pitch. He's nasty out there now. He's pouring down with rain. The wind is howling through. Certainly not a night for the players. It's held off for quite a while, but in the end it's hit. After pretty good conditions for the Super League game beforehand. A 5-0 win to the Warriors in that one. Setting up next week's big showdown with the Zebras.
And 2-1 win to the Lions in the Challenge League earlier on, which Saw some grumpy faces across Warrior Park earlier today.
Yeah, they weren't through it up here in the box, were they? As this one's swung over the top towards Jack Ryan. One with Danny Cowan, who just thumps it away. As eventually we'll have a throw in once they can find the ball again. Inside the final 12 now. Still a 2-0 lead. Will we see late fireworks in the Lions Warriors match up for a second time this season, or is it going to be Olympia? Back on the winners list here. Jack Ryan shielding the ball, showing good strength as he has throughout the evening. Big Englishman. Powerful presence for his side this evening. Compatriot Scott. Just a turn towards the byline here. Thought he won inside the corner, but not to be. A few brave souls still just weathering the storm out there behind the goals.
Another few have also just had enough and seeking shelter, which I do not blame them for in the slightest. I'm surprised we're not inundated with people up here, upstairs at the moment. As Turner flicks it on. Hall can't quite get it out of his feet. Randall. It's time to take a touch, looking for Nkoso, battling against Cowan. Turner trying to get around Ladage. Well, that was more whacking the ball into his hand from 3 inches away rather than a deliberate handball, but free kick awarded. And they'll let Keenan Dowse to take. Plenty of bodies forward, just leaving a one-on-one with Nkoso should the ball come back out, but it's Dowse. Taken pretty centrally. Randall climbing high over the back of him. Shanked clear. And he's missed that from inside the 6-yard box as Nick Cuthbertson. Cohen is down in a world of pain. So is Randall. But I'd love a replay of that because I think I've let Cuthbertson off the hook there a bit. I think he's missed an absolute sitter.
He just swung at it with the left and you feel he probably should have done better here. Pressure on the goalkeeper. No free kick forthcoming. I think maybe Cuthbertson was just assuming that was coming, as they always do. The goalkeepers are a protected species generally. Perhaps Randall not been in the NPL long enough to get protected status, so I'm not sure. But he doesn't get the free kick. And Cuthbertson squanders what he surely had to bury.
He's a recent addition to the endangered species list and quite made the rounds yet. He's earning on that spot. But yeah, Cuthbertson just swinging the left leg at it, and it seems like it's been awarded a goal kick for Randall. So off the hook there are the Warriors. It's Turner to Cansos, stuck in a sandwich. Thought he got clipped by Ladich. Falling out to Cuthbertson. 10 minutes left for the Lions. Try and get themselves back into this one. Out to Hall, swinging ball towards Turner, who got there. Kurtz immediately put both his hands up in innocence there. He had hands in the back on Turner. Turner, a rarity, didn't really appeal for it. This is something we're used to up in here at NPL 10. Usually one to appeal for everything is Jack Turner. There's Randall. That one holds up as well. Cuthbertson out towards Dowse. Gets the ball in. Going to assume that's gone wide. And it has.
Well, it's Keenan Dowse. I was just waiting for the back of the net to ripple that. Thought, here we go again.
I was thinking, surely not in this weather.
It's going to make it tough for Randall, that's for sure. And the wind being a big factor. And it's been the Lions the last 15 minutes doing all the attacking here, really pushing on, but just haven't been able to pull one back. And certainly if they could do, just put a few doubts in the Warriors' minds. And I'm sure Kingborough would love to return the favour for that meeting earlier in the season, as Hall giving chase. So I've liked the tactical switch they've gone to in this second half. They've changed things up with the formation. They've brought Hall on. They've looked more threatening for it.
Who's 15 for Lions?
Who am I looking at it?
Who's currently up top for Lions? 15.
Right now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is too. I saw him go off just before. I was like, what's he doing back on the field?
He's getting some treatment, I think.
Yeah, he must have been. I thought he was subbed off.
No, he's still out there, the former Warrior. Can he return to haunt his former side. Not on this occasion anything doing. Jack Turner's bombing back onto an attacking spot now with the kitchen sink time pretty much having arrived. So we'll get him up there, knock long balls, hope something can happen, but Olympia have been fairly comfortable for the most part defending what's been thrown at them. Best chance of the game was that one to Cuthbertson just moments ago, really. Not a whole lot outside of it. This one spills to Keenan Dowse. Back to Cuthbertson. Nodded away. Scott. Cohen. Samet can't quite make anything happen there. Sliding in with Scott.
He's not going to be happy to get a cheese here, but probably a deserved one.
And he is into the book. He is Jordan Scott. Which is his 9th of the season, I'm being told. Didn't want to get to 10. He certainly already had a couple of suspensions due to accumulations as Dowse trying to take his long range trickery to all new heights with one from 55 yards out. Just nestling on target with a comfortable catch for the keeper as Nkoso's offside here. So he threatened to storm in behind. Flag raised on the king of the handles.
Pretty obvious one there from Joffrey Nkoso. Just waiting till he made contact with the ball before the flag going up. Cowan over this set piece. Long over the head of Kansos. Turner wrestling with Curtis. Now Steele lofts one over the top in the hole direction. Cook should do enough to see it out and has done just enough indeed. The wind probably helping a little bit there as well. Is last probably 20 minutes. The Lions have certainly shaded possession, but as you mentioned earlier, Andrew, not a great deal of obvious goal scoring opportunities. Just the one really to speak of.
Yeah, it's been a pretty ugly second half, really. Olympia didn't come too far out of their shells with the game certainly under their control. Chances haven't really been flowing, but looks like they're going to do enough here. The Warriors setting up in the first 45. That man Jack Ryan doing the damage in attack as this one switched out to Altman. Just got under pressure from Allen. Lovely little ball there from Altman to Curtis, who releases Scott. Scott crossing for Nkoso. It's a good strong punch though from Kenneth Perkinson. Reacting to smash that one away from a lurking Nkoso. Hall now for the Lions, back to Steele. Samet swinging in the Turner direction, just looking to roll Vandermeer. Do so though. This one will land back on the chest of Steele. Kansos. Samet. Warriors parked back deep here. A couple of banks of four, going to be tough to break down, and couldn't get past the first man, which was Joffrey Nkoso, winning it back. Goes to Ladich. Ladich to Jack Ryan. Again, first time ball from Ryan. Link up play. Thompson here run, that's ignored. Instead switches it to Jordan Scott, who's got Altman bombing on. Instead, really giving Nkoso much of a hope on that one. Just put it out in front of him. Brayton Allen throwing some trickery on the line, but numbers win out. Curtis to Ladich. Now the chef rolls it across to Thompson, who finds himself in acres of space here. Thompson, he can take a touch into the box. He puts the cross in. Clearance falls the way of Scott. Ryan just overhits that one for Nkoso. For Nkoso with time to bend across it. He goes to the back post towards Ryan. Well done, Cuthbertson. That one bent back on the breeze. And in the end, some good defence from the big stalk.
Yeah, very well done bodying up to Ryan, who had a good run up onto that header. Couldn't make purchase. As Warriors now just trying to play the game out. And Cook looking for Scott. He'll still be eager to get on the score sheet tonight, will Jordan Scott. Ladich turns it over. I'm fairly certain Jack Turner was about to have a shot then. If Ladich didn't come across, he had a big wind up. It's Turner. Ladich. Cuthbertson's first clearance is blocked. This time goes to Douse. First time cross, Kurtz. Oh, he's put it high up in the air with Hall underneath. Manages to retrieve the situation. And Altman gets a bit more distance on it as the rain has only increased in the last 20-odd minutes here at Warrior Park. They'll be happy to get back in the sheds after this one, I think.
Yeah, can't be too comfortable out there. Nice like this. Thankful for the box up here at Warrior Park, not the old setup in the, on the hill under the marquee. Be rather muddy out there after this downpour.
All underneath the training net.
Oh yes, the cubby. That one being set up.
That view was reminiscent of the view of those people out at the basketball in Melbourne the other day, just kind of almost below ground, looking up at the ground.
Yeah, key difference being we didn't pay $300 for those seats, I reckon, in the end, Paul. Because this one's in behind Cuthbertson. Talk about a stitch up that. Is Nick Cuthbertson chips this one in, looking for Samet, and in the end it's allowed to bounce harmlessly behind for a goal kick. I don't think you find too many football games where you got viewing issues like that.
No, someone did put the call out on Twitter for any football grounds that have done that, and rarely could anyone think of one. Usually sensible and set up above the ground.
Generally it helps if you're watching a sporting contest to not be below the pitch or the court, as it were. As Joffrey and Koso battling away with Smithy Sharples, had some support in the form of Cuthbertson. Away by Ryan Cook.
We're usually at the other end of the spectrum where we just put high and as far away as possible rather than as close and below.
Yeah. Thankfully a happy medium here tonight at Warrior Park. And fair credit to the fans who are still standing around not seeking out the shelter here. It's a fair effort from them. And, sticking it out. I'm not sure if that's purely because that's the wet area, but taking on a double meaning tonight, I think.
Yes, indeed, as on search of Ryan. Cantsos, he'll be feeling that one, Cantsos, and indeed he has stayed down. Bit of a weight differential between those two. Turner tried to take it quickly, and he's hit the crossbar. Oh. Unfortunately, he called it back. But majestic effort for crossbar challenge there from Jack Turner.
I reckon that damn near bounced goal side of the line too. What a hit. I mean, utterly irrelevant, and it'll be retaken, but jeez. What a hit that was.
Maybe Douse can try and do it again now as well.
Well, the wind's at his back. He's a man in form from range. Now 60 yards might be beyond him, but why not have a dip? He swings it into the area. It's a good-looking free kick. Cuthbertson won the header. Went straight into the grateful arms of Darby Randall as they hang on to this clean sheet. And they're not far away from seeing it out. And a 2-0 win, which will help their quest to defend second spot. And they might even add to it yet. Keenan Douse working back, but Thompson got a good piece of it. And Perkinson with a strong glove save there. Got his hand shot up there to keep it out as Thompson just denied a third.
He hasn't had to do much in this second half, Perkinson, but right in the dying embers of the game. Comes up with a crucial save. Good power on the volley from Thompson. Gets it out for a corner. It's Perkinson. A few good saves here tonight has the keeper. And Scott. With this one surely destined for inside the 6-yard box. Instead goes short to Vandermeer. Tries to twist and turn, and it's in the back of the net. It's Thompson on this occasion, making it 3-0 to the Warriors. The icing on the cake. It was Vandermeer's turn and cross. And after a bit of a scramble in the box, Thompson gets a toe to it. And adds a little bit more to the Warriors. 3-0 over the Lions. And the youngster gets on the score sheet.
Yeah, in the driving rain, they find a third as Scott takes this corner. Getting it in short here. Some nice work from Vandermeer on the byline and just spilt by Perkinson right into the path of Thompson, who can hardly believe his luck. Having been denied by a stunning save 30 seconds earlier from Perkinson, he is gifted the goal immediately.
And with that, it is full time. Charlie White allowed the kick-off, but as soon as that happens, full time has been blown. 3-0 victory to the Olympia FC Warriors. Remaining in second place on the league, and Kingborough with Glenorchy Knights winning this afternoon go a bit further behind in the race for 5th place. Pretty good contest overall here tonight. The second half, very scrappy affair. It was dead scrappy before the weather came in, and then that made it pretty much impossible for any good football to be played. Impressive first half from the Warriors as we'll go through the goals. And setting up Jack Ryan, calls for offside. We'll be having a look at that one during the week, but for the moment, Ryan putting the Warriors in front. And it was early on when the ground was bathed in sunshine. And then the second, another well-taken goal for the Warriors.
Yeah, Jack Ryan from scorer to creator on this occasion, but this goal, so much of it about the Vandermeer long ball. He caused a number of issues for the defence with those raking balls in the first half. Kurtz does really well, fires the finish straight into the ground and over the top of Perkinson, who, despite the fumble on the last one, had a pretty good game in net for Kingborough, really, and 3-0 on the balance of play. Probably a fair scoreline. The second half, yeah, it was a pretty scrappy affair. Not a lot of quality from either team. You could probably say the line shaded it, but the first half was pretty dominant stuff from Olympia, and they fully deserve their 3-0 win as Thompson rounds out the scoring here at Warrior Park, and the players quickly vacate the pitch because it is tsunami type conditions here. It's getting ridiculous.
It's gone Peak Valley Road out there at Warrior Park at the moment.
It's awful. So that will do us here from a wild Warrior Park. Plus, I can hopefully get that camera down and scurry across here quickly because you're absolutely drenched. Because from here at Warrior Park, it's ended 3-0 to Olympia.